Hello everyone. I like to use two videos to show how can we implement the TwinCAT 3 TCP IP function by using TF6310, this software. And in this video, I will show how can we use TwinCAT 3 TF6310 run as TCP IP server. As shown in this video, I will use one laptop run the TwinCAT 3 PLC roles. I will also install TF6310, this package, and also will do some program to allow this PLC run as TCP IP server. And the TCP IP client side, I will use socket tester tool run as TCP IP client. So the server role and the client role doesn't matter the communication sent or receive. They are communication role. Running as a server, it can receive couple client to connect to here. Okay, in this video, I will show how can we leverage the existing example program so we can use very less efforts to build up this communication. Okay, let's firstly go to Beckhoff TwinCAT 3 website. Let's download the menu and download the software. Firstly, let's go to beckhoff.com. And from this search area, we can search TF6310. Okay? And then let's go to here, TF6310 TwinCAT 3 TCP IP. And from here, you can read the explanation here. Importantly, we need to download the document and the software. For the software, you can go to the software and the tools and download this TCP IP. And this software is very small. And take care, before you install this software, definitely you need to install the TwinCAT 3 firstly, and then install this TCP IP. And if you are using Beckhoff PLC or using a computer running as Beckhoff PLC, you need to install this TCP IP software in your PLC computer, okay, in your target computer. Okay. Also, highly recommend you need to download the manual technical document, and you need to download this document. Okay, click this download, English, and download. Importantly, in this menu, after you download, here, this menu explains the system requirements, how to install. Take care, when we install this package, we need to run as administrator. Okay, and if your target PLC is a CE, Windows CE system, here explain how you can install this package in your Windows CE target PLC system. Okay, especially here. Some of your target PLC, they are ARM system or x86 system. Here, it explains how to install this package. And the basic concept using Beckhoff TF6310. What does mean of the transmission control protocol TCP? And to run the TCP client role or server role, what the basic function, the key roles of the function block they are playing. Okay, so running as TCP IP server, so we need such function blocks. So socket listen, accept, send, receive, and close all. And this sounds like complicated, but fortunately Beckhoff supplied some sample program. If we go to this bookmarks and we scroll down, and we can see the chapter 6 samples here. You can find this GitHub and click this link, and we can download the sample program. And in this sample program, it includes the Getting Started project. Also, it includes 7 sample projects. And in this case, I will use the Getting Started project, run the TwinCAT PLC as TCP IP server. And we will jump to here. And then you can click this code and click this download zip. From this sample project, it has the C# running as a client role. And this is the PLC under this folder. And we will see the Getting Started project, TCP IP, totally 7 sample projects, and the UDP projects. Okay, TCP, it is here. Okay, Getting Started project. The All Solution project. So once you install the TwinCAT 3, you can open this project and we can directly use. All right, now let's go to this root folder and click this download zip. And then let's shift to the TwinCAT 3 system. Let me show how can we use this example project. All right, after we copy this sample program, let's reveal what items inside. Okay, let's go inside and we can see there's one C#. simple program running as a client. But in this case, I will use the socket tester tool. Okay, and if we go to the PLC, we will see it has getting started program. In this program, it includes the TCP/IP client and the server program, and also it includes this TCP and UDP folder. And in this TCP folder, it actually includes the sample 1 to 7. In this video, we will use the getting start this program, and we will run the TCP/IP server role. Because when we tested this getting started program, I found it actually running very well, running as a server role. And the program is fresh, it's simple, and it's very easy for you to read the details inside. We just need to change a little bit for your application for further development. Personally, I would recommend you can use this simple program for your TCP/IP server role, the slave role. Okay, and don't forget, before we do any test for the TCP/IP, firstly, you need to install the TwinCAT 3 program. Okay, don't forget, install, run as administrator. And second, more importantly, don't forget, install the TF6310 TCP/IP, this software. And don't forget, run as administrator. And here's one trick. When I did this test, even I installed both software running as administrator to install them, and I restart system, and I didn't do that successfully. And after I did some research, I find there's one tip and tricks. We can rescue your system. Basic idea, we need to register the TCP/IP, the socket behind. So if you have any case, you have ADS error 06, then you can manually rescue your system. So go to CMD and find your command, run as an administrator. Okay, and prepare here. Then let's go to find another directory. Find your C drive and find the TwinCAT directory. And then go to functions. And after you install the TF6310, you will see this folder and go inside. And then go to Win33. And you will see server here. Okay, and you will see this software. So let's copy this directory. Copy this directory. Go to this administrator command. Okay, and here let's paste. And then let's copy this name. Okay, don't forget this exe. Okay, here don't forget type in this slash and paste this software name. And then space, backward slash, register, TC3 server. Okay, we need to do this way. Okay, to register this application. Okay, enter. Then it will pop up this message. TwinCAT system has to stop it and before proceed this installation. Okay, let's proceed this installation. And after this, you better restart your system. This successfully register this software. Okay, now I will going to use this getting started program to run the TCP/IP server role. Okay, I will copy this program, and here I will create a folder, TCP/IP server. Okay, I will create the project. Okay, I will copy this sample program under here. This is a sample program, so we do not need to create the entire project starting from scratch. We just need to open and test that. Okay, now let me open TwinCAT. All right, after opening this TwinCAT project, okay, let's open the project. Open solution. Okay, find out this directory, and I will find this directory TCP/IP server role. Open this getting started project. All right, after we open this project, let's have a quick review. So under this PLC project, we will see, let's find out the main. And we will see it has function block, TCP/IP client, and the TCP/IP server. In this video, I will use this TCP/IP server. And from the main, we will see this area is initial, and this area is a TCP/IP client, and this area is a server role. Okay, actually we will use this area, and temporarily I will ignore this client. So here at the beginning, once we start up this CPU, this start client communication default is true. I would recommend set this as false. And the reason why I prefer leaving that as false, because if you review this detail here, this client area is using this remote port. This is server port. And this server area is also using this server port. So this client and the server, they are sharing use this one port. Some cases, they will cause the conflicts. If your program cannot organize this very well, some cases, either it can run the client role or server role. It cannot run at the same time. So I would recommend do not test this client and the server at the same time. This is the getting started program. I'm a little bit concerned this organization cannot run very well. So I highly recommend we can test this server side at first, then leave this client after. Okay, so this port number, we can leave the default, or we can set something. For example, this server port, okay, this server port will be shared use for this area also. So if we go here, this server port, if we click this, go to definition, we'll see it will jump here. So in this case, this is server port, we can use this default, or we can set something else. For example, I can set 2010, okay, for this server port. That means the TwinCAT PLC side, the server side, we will use the TCP/IP port 2010, this port, okay? And then the server IP address, the local host, the server IP address. So here we can set TwinCAT PLC IP address. In this case, I will use this system. So my system IP address is 192.168.1.199. Is my TwinCAT PLC. This is server IP address. Then the socket tool will run as a client. The socket tool will find this IP address. Okay? And we have a server, we have the IP address. Basically, that's it. And here we will see this is the server communication command. If we go to the definition, we will find default, this bool, this command will turn on. Basically, if the PLC running as a TCP/IP server, the server role should active always, waiting for any chance the client try to connect with this server, right? So that's why the default leave as a true, no problem. And then this area is an area to receive data. Actually, we should jump into this function block. So we'll see this is the IFB TCP server. And inside this server, we'll see it has a state, no problem, very clear. And we will see the key role is 20 and 30. So the 30 plays a role to receive from the client. If the client send the data, it will send to here. And this is the buffer. It will try to receive the string, one string. So if we go to the definition, we'll see this is the one string. It has 255 length here. This is the sample program, okay? And after it receive, it will run a program, give an echo, and go to this socket accept. So the data received from the client, it will send back to the client. So after this receive, we will see this logic here. It will copy the received buffer read data to the send data, and then run the certified send data. This data will send back to the client. Using this way, we can verify if the server side, this is PLC side, received the data or not. If we send the ABC, then we receive the ABC sent back. We can guarantee, okay, the server received my data correctly. But sometimes maybe this send back, this echo will cause you trouble. Then you can comment out this line, because after you copy this receive to the send buffer, it will zero your receive buffer. If you ignore this area, when the first time you are going to test this receive data buffer, you will see your receive data buffer always zero. It will very confuse. People will confuse why I send the data, but I cannot receive anything from the PLC side. That's because this line actually recite this receive buffer. So I will show how to do this, how to comment, or before comment or after comment, what the difference between them. Okay. So this is the inside. Just quickly go through. Then again, running as a server, very simple. We set the server role IP address, and we set the server side the port number. We are using the 2010. And the client side, we disable the client temporarily. So we go to this definition again, we disable that. All right, now we are going to download this program. And before we download, let's set this real time. This is the typical TwinCAT project, right? So we go to the real time, and I will read my target. I will use my isolated core, no problem. Okay, and then the license, we will active the license. If this is the first time for you, you can click this 7 days trial license and type in this trial license code. Then we are able to use this trial license for 7 days. All right, no problem. Now we will download the program. If you are using your personal laptop to do this test, so you will download the local. Or if you have another Beckhoff PLC or another PC running as Beckhoff PLC, then you can select the target. Okay, so I used multiple videos to show how to download the program to another computer, another PLC. So I will not explain this here. In this case, I will use this system running as this PLC TCP/IP server role. Okay, now I will compile and download. Okay, download. All right, we download, and we will see now this PLC is running, no error at here. The message area, no error. And if we go to the main, we go to login and watch this online status. Initially, I would recommend click this initial, so it will firstly close out the socket, and then we will reactive the server again. So let's reinitiate this system, and we will see this client area. Now no any trigger, no problem. In this case, we will focus on this server side. Okay, server side, we will see this IP address, no problem, online IP address and the port number. While we're going online, we will see the status. We enable this communication role, and now it's busy because now server is waiting for the client to connect it. And connected, this signal now is off because so far I haven't used socket tool to set up a client yet. Okay, now I will open the socket tool. This socket tool located in another computer, and this computer will run as a client. We'll try to connect with this TwinCAT 3 PLC TCP/IP server. All right, this is my client tool, socket test. I will paste the link how to download this socket test tool. So in this case, this socket test will run as a client. So the client will try to find the server. So what the server IP address? It is here, right? So this client, I will type in the server target 192.168.1.199, this IP address, and the port number, same the setting as the server side, 2010. Okay, currently now the connect to shows none because I haven't connected yet. So let's click the connect, and then let's watch this connected feedback. So click. Okay, once you see this area connect to this target 199, that means this client and server, they find each other. Physically, they are locating into two computers. Okay, so now the client found this server, and the server also shows connected. And if you have the problem on this connection, I highly recommend find your server-side Windows firewall. Turn off the Windows firewall temporarily at least. Okay, firewall. Okay, Windows firewall. And I go to this on and off, turn off your Windows firewall. Definitely, if you're very clear, you can go to the firewall rule and open the TCP IP, the socket, this port number. But for testing purpose, I would recommend you turn this off. So you firstly set up this connection, and then you can figure out how to enable, how to open the port number for this TCP IP communication, right? Okay, now it got connected. Now let's test the data. Before we jump in, let's send something. For example, if I send ABCD now, click send or click enter, you will see send. This is this software sent to the server side, and then this shows the server echo this feedback. That means all this closed loop is working. So now let me send 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 got an echo, no problem, very fast. So now let's go inside, let's see how it's running there. So let's go inside this function block. If we click this, go to the definition, we'll see, okay, this function block, IFB TCP server is running this role, is here. So we can double click and go inside. Okay, this stays as a 30. We'll see 30 is a receive data area, and 35 is a send data. We can see this is the read buffer and the send buffer. Send buffer, it has a data here, 1, 2, 3, 4. This actually associated with the send buffer. This client area received from this send buffer at the server side. Okay, now if I send a new data, XYZW, send, we'll see it received XYZW, it is here. But if we go to monitor the read data buffer, go to the client, we'll see the send buffer, we'll see this read buffer always shows 0. Okay, this will cause the new learner confused just because this line 73, this line, after this copy, this line will 0 this read buffer. Okay, it's not that easy to troubleshoot. So I would recommend temporarily we can comment this line off. Okay, comment out this line. Then we will see the send buffer, receive buffer, they always show the same. Okay, we can troubleshoot by using this receive data buffer. Okay, let's log in. Okay, we will see send buffer is here, and if this time if we go to the receive buffer, okay, receive buffer. Now let's watch here. Let's watch here. If I send a new data, say ASDFG, okay, send. Okay, this time we will see ASDFG is received at this read buffer, and then after this copy, the send buffer has the same data, send buffer here. If we scroll up, so we will see this read buffer and send buffer, they are the same. So if I send one new data, okay, 7890 receive buffer. So basically in your case, you will use this read data. This is a string. Then you will translate from the string to integer data or other data or command. Because in the real case, if the server side will communicate with the software, basically the software side will always send this string style, this char style. Then you need to sort the data from the string as a command or as a data setting, something like that. But basically this is a server side role. Personally, I pretty like this getting started, this structure. We just need a couple minutes. You can download this program to your computer. Do this server side test. It's very quick. Okay, and we will see it running very well. And if we go back to the main, we will see the core area is this area. Don't forget, server and client, we need to match this IP address and port number. And you can use this busy connected signal and the busy signal for the troubleshooting. Meantime, for this error ID, you can go to the menu, find, search the error ID if any cases you have the problem. And don't forget, if you have a trouble, so first things you could try is using this command to register this software TCP/IP server. Then this way will register the software. Okay, this is the TF6310, the TwinCAT 3 PLC running as TCP/IP server. In the next video, I will show how can we use the TF6310 run the CPU as TCP/IP client. But here, there's one thing I found when I did the first time test. So when I use this TCP/IP client in this getting started program, I didn't do that successfully. At least I have a lot of trouble there. Then I found the sample02 can run the client role very well. And it also makes sense, most of cases, if your PLC running as TCP/IP client, the client role will play more important or more complicated than the server role, because server role is just waiting for client to connect it. Once it's connected, then the next things you just need to sort the data from the receive buffer. But the client role, sometimes you need to receive from the different server. If you have a multiple devices outside or multiple computer outside, then your client role need to point to the different server, or at least you need to organize something to control this client communication command. Then I would recommend you can use the sample2. In next video, I will show how to use that. Alright, this is the video for today. The TCP/IP server role by using Beckhoff TwinCAT 3 TF6310. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumb up. If you like to watch more videos in my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you for watching.